Hey guys, as we just talked about in session 6 about how the apostles actually asked, teach us to pray. Sometimes we'd like to have an example. Obviously, Christ gave one with the example of what we call the Lord's Prayer. And here's a prayer that I like to use, just a personal example, which I think gives us a little bit of insight that we can borrow from various traditions and to not simply say, if I don't see it right within my tradition, I can't use it, right? So in Shamanic traditions and Native American traditions, there's a lot of prayer toward directions, like when it comes to east, south, west, and north. And I decided, hey, I want to pray like that. I want to have that as the beginning of our day. And me and Marla have a great tree at the back of our yard. And it is a huge crepe myrtle that we refer to as the tree of life. And the sun rises practically over it every single morning because it's facing east, or at least as I'm facing it, it's toward the east. And so here are each of the directions. And certainly this is not a prayer that you have to emulate. Maybe just something that you think, okay, that gives me a little bit of courage or creativity to go out and create my own. So first I will face toward the east and the sun rising. It represents the new day that's coming. So I give thanks. I ask the Spirit to be alive, to awaken me in every way. I ask for guidance for the day and trust that it will show up as needed. Because I do know that having that internal guidance, to have the Spirit to lead, those days are much different than the days that I'm making absolutely every decision. Then I'll turn and face the south, and this represents for me the physical aspects. So I'll give thanks for my body, for my mind. I ask for the courage to make wise food and exercise choices. I can't tell you the number of times I've asked for that and then failed during the day, but I'm going to continue to make the request. And then I ask for help for my brain and for my body to actually honor the Creator, and for this body, for this frame, for this mind to carry out and be the light of the world. So this constant battle, because I'm not surrendered in every area of life, but I'll pray that toward the south. Then I'll face the west, and to me, this represents the emotional attributes of life, and I'll ask for limitless spiritual emotions of love, of joy, and peace, and to be in that constant state, that they'll be my companions, that the limiting emotions of fear, greed, pride, and other lesser emotions, the limiting emotions, that I will recognize those as quickly as possible, and that those will be shifted. And as I sense those, another practice outside of prayers, I sense those during the day, I may actually write those down and journal those. So I recognize the resurgence of those, the regular reoccurrence of those, or if it's love, joy, and peace, and especially if it hits like an ecstatic level, I definitely want to make a note of that. And then I'll face north, and this is to me representing awe and mystery and wonder. And so I'll give thanks to the artist, to the author, the creators we've mentioned, and I stand amazed at the beauty of the earth, the wind, the sky, the water, animals, all of creation, so that I'm recognizing these 4 directions. Again, the east is the beginning of the new day and focusing on the Spirit. The south is about physicality, the body and the brain. May it be a great representation of its Creator. The west, the emotional parts of life, and may I be focused on love, joy, and peace, and recognize when I hit those lesser emotions, and hopefully be able to make that shift with the power of the Spirit prayed for in the east. The north, the awe and the mystery. And it's easy, as those of us who are getting older, it's easier to take things for granted and to simply not take the time to be in awe and to recognize. And so that's a great practice. So that's the beginning of my day every single day, so that it is an easy prayer practice for me. Why don't you find an easy prayer practice for you, so it's something you can implement each and every day to start the day in a way that feels extremely blessed and grateful. Be blessed.